This is Mazda stepping right into Toyota's territory and, honestly, not asking for permission. The all-new 2026 Mazda CX-50 Hybrid arrives with 219 horsepower, fuel economy brushing up against 38 miles per gallon, and a driving personality that refuses to be dull. If you've ever thought hybrid SUVs were just appliances on wheels, this one is about to change your mind in a big way. Welcome back to Motor Verdict Meet, where we break down cars the real world way. No fluff, no hype. Just what actually matters when you're thinking about buying. Today we're taking a deep full walk around of the all-new 2026 Mazda CX-50 Hybrid and why it's suddenly one of the most talked about hybrid SUVs on the road. Let's start exactly where most people end up standing, first around the back of the CX-250 Hybrid. Mazda keeps things clean, wide, and confident here. The slim LED taillights stretch across the rear and wrap neatly into the tailgate, giving the SUV a planted, almost athletic look. It doesn't feel over-designed or busy, and that's refreshing in a segment where some rivals try way too hard. The tailgate itself sits low, making loading groceries, luggage, or weekend gear surprisingly easy. There are sporty exhaust style accents built into the lower bumper, not loud or flashy, just enough to remind you this isn't a boring eco-box. When you park it next to something like a Toyota RAV4 Hybrid, the Mazda instantly feels more premium and more intentional. Quick question for you: do you prefer a clean rear design like this, or do you like SUVs that go bold and aggressive at the back? Moving along to the left side, the CX-50 Hybrid really shows off that rugged meets refined personality Mazda has been chasing. The proportions are spot on: a long hood, short overhangs, and a slightly squared-off shape that gives it a confident SUV stance without looking bulky. Black cladding around the wheel arches and lower doors adds a subtle off-road vibe, hinting at weekend adventures without pretending this is a hardcore trail machine. Character lines flow smoothly from front to rear, keeping everything elegant. Instead of boxy, the roofline stays fairly flat, which not only looks good, but also helps with rear headroom and cargo space. Available roof rails reinforce that outdoorsy attitude, whether you're actually hauling bikes or just like the look. Compared to softer designs like the Honda CR-V Hybrid, the CX-50 feels tougher, more purposeful. How honest would you take this design over the safer shapes most hybrids stick with? Now, sliding over to the right side, you'll notice how consistent the design language is. Mazda didn't do anything gimmicky here, and that's the point. The wheel designs are bold and sporty, filling out the arches nicely and giving the CX-50 Hybrid a planted look on the road. Door handles, mirrors, and trim pieces all feel well integrated rather than tacked on. There's a sense of balance from every angle, which is something Mazda does incredibly well. You don't have to be a car enthusiast to notice it too. Just feel like this SUV costs more than it does. When you see it rolling down the street next to a typical hybrid crossover, it stands out quietly, confidently. Would this design turn your head in a parking lot, or do you think it still flies a bit under the radar? Step inside, because this is where the all-new 2026 Mazda CX-50 Hybrid really starts pulling away from the competition. The cabin feels less like a mainstream hybrid and more like an entry-level luxury crossover. The dashboard layout is clean, wide, and driver-focused, with a strong horizontal design that makes the interior feel open and calm. The infotainment screen is integrated naturally into the dash, instead of sticking up like a tablet glued on at the last second. The digital instrument cluster is clear, sharp, and easy to read, giving you exactly the information you need without overwhelming you. Mazda's approach here is about reducing clutter, and it works. Material quality is one of the biggest surprises. Soft touch surfaces are everywhere your hands naturally fall, and the stitching and trim choices feel upscale without being flashy. Mazda's seats have always been a strong point, and the CX-50 Hybrid keeps that reputation intact. The seats are supportive, well-shaped, and comfortable enough for long highway drives without leaving you sore. Higher trims bring leather upholstery, power adjustments, heating, and even ventilation, which is still rare in this class. Rear passengers get plenty of legroom, and the wide cabin makes it comfortable, even for adults sitting back there for longer trips. Let me ask you this: how important is interior quality to you in a hybrid SUV? Is it a deal breaker or just a nice bonus? Tech is handled thoughtfully rather than obsessively. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto come standard, along with wireless charging and multiple USB-C ports spread throughout the cabin. The sound system delivers crisp audio whether you're listening to podcasts or blasting your favorite road trip playlist. Mazda's driver assistance package is fully loaded, including adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring, and automatic emergency braking. It all works quietly in the background instead of constantly reminding you it's there. This makes daily driving feel calmer, not stressful, which, let's be honest, is exactly what most people want from a hybrid SUV. Now let's talk about what's under the hood, because this is where Mazda really makes its statement. The 2026 Mazda CX-50 Hybrid pairs a gasoline engine with an electric motor to deliver a combined system output of 219 horsepower. On paper, that number puts it right in the mix with rivals like the RAV4 Hybrid and CR-V Hybrid. On the road, though, it feels more refined. The electric motor delivers instant torque at low speeds, making city driving smooth and effortless. Pulling away from stoplights feels quick and confident, not sluggish or delayed. When you merge onto the highway, the gas engine steps in seamlessly, giving you steady, predictable power without drama. Fuel efficiency is a huge headline here. With up to 38 miles per gallon, the CX-50 Hybrid competes directly with class leaders while offering a more engaging driving experience. That means fewer stops at the gas station, lower running costs, it's a smaller environmental footprint without sacrificing comfort or performance. Mazda clearly didn't want this to be a hybrid you buy just to save fuel. They wanted it to be one you actually enjoy driving. And that's where Mazda's tuning really shines. The suspension strikes a sweet balance between comfort and control, soaking up rough roads while staying composed through corners. The steering feels natural and connected, something many hybrids completely ignore in the pursuit of efficiency. You actually feel confident taking a winding road instead of dreading it. Ride quality is smooth and quiet, especially during low-speed electric-assisted driving. Road and wind noise are well controlled, reinforcing that premium vibe throughout. The cabin. Here's a question. Should hybrids prioritize driving fun more, or is efficiency all that really matters? Now let's talk price, because that's always the big question. While exact numbers vary by market and trim, the 2026 Mazda CX-50 Hybrid is positioned competitively right against rivals like the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid and Honda CR-V Hybrid. The difference is in what you're getting for your money. Mazda offers a more upscale interior, sharper design, and a driving experience that feels less appliance-like. When you factor in fuel savings over time, the value proposition becomes even stronger. This isn't about being the cheapest hybrid SUV, it's about being the one that feels worth every dollar you spend. So what does all of this add up to? The all-new 2026 Mazda CX-50 Hybrid isn't just another hybrid option, it's a serious challenge to the segment leaders. It blends efficiency, performance, premium design, and genuine driving enjoyment in a way few competitors manage. Is Mazda proving that hybrids don't have to be boring, soulless, or purely practical? You can have smart fuel economy and still enjoy the drive. At the end of the day, CX-50 Hybrid delivers real-world practicality with a touch of luxury and personality that makes it stand out in a crowded market. It's the kind of SUV choose not just because it makes sense, but because you actually want it. Now, I want to hear from you. Would you take the 2026 Mazda CX-50 Hybrid over a Toyota RAV4 Hybrid or a Honda CR-V Hybrid? What matters more to you? Reliability, design, or driving feel? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I read every single one. If you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to like the video, subscribe, and follow Motor Verdict Meet for more honest, in-depth car reviews just like this. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.